So apart from the jet lag, it's been a pretty mad week.
Oh, well, just catching up on the sleep.
We lost an airplane.
Yeah, hey man, that's not my fault, dude. I didn't do it.
I said we. Look, I was using the royal we.
I was at the party. It got a bit late. We had a few drinks.
Look, it happens.
Maybe
all
someone
the time.
grabbed a plane. Look, I don't know.
Where did I park the airplane?
I woke up in Hyde Park.
Yeah, no trousers, sore butt. This again.
God, it's funny the first time, but
I know.
Seven times now. Come on.
That's why you always carry bus fare.
Yes.
You always stow bus fare in a little tube and just keep it
in my belly button.
In a safe place.
Sticky tape.
I've got an outie, so it doesn't work. You are on Movie Groove. You're on Energy Groove Radio, transmitting live from Sydney and all around the world. My name is Alister Lockhart, and in the chair with me is Gavalanche. The legend, the man, the lover. We always like to start each and every show with entertainment and movie news from all around the galaxy. This is a bit that we call Episode 7, A New's Hope.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
I like it. Short and sweet.
Box office news. Oh yes, slow-mo man candy display case 300, Rise of an Empire, dominated the box office this last weekend, followed closely by reheated talking dog property, Mr. Peabody and Sherman, easily taking first and second spot from Liam Neeson's airborne physics lesson, Non-Stop, and lukewarm gospel. Thank you. Hang on, I'm going to give myself one of these as well.
Oh, no.
They love me here.
Oh, no.
Shut up. Son of God, that film dropping below fourth place. The Lego Movie still performing strongly on close to 11 mil in its fifth week of release, so producers of that are still guzzling the champagne, I would guess. Also in its first week was The Grand Budapest Hotel, a star-studded comedy drama from acclaimed writer-director Wes Anderson, praised by RogerEbert.com critic Glenn Kenny thusly: Anderson the Illusion Maker is more than graceful. He's dazzling. And with this movie, he's created an art refuge that consoles and commiserates. It's an illusion, but it's not a lie. Yes, the film has been almost universally praised as an intelligent and hilarious masterwork by the auteur, so of course nobody gives a shit or went to see it. The film debuted at number 17 on the US charts, well below forgettable action flops Pompeii and 3 Days to Kill, both in their third week. So, remember moviegoers, every time Michael Bay gets funding for another movie, it's what you asked for. I'm looking at you, Gav. I blame you.
Oh, man.
You paid to see that movie. I know you did.
Twice.
Oh, boy. You are dead to me now, sir. You are dead to me.
I didn't see it. I just paid for the tickets. And I left, I was just there for the popcorn.
That was a good move. I did actually enjoy a Michael Bay movie once. I went Armageddon.
Oh, yes.
But it was because, before we went, and I said to Sandra, look, we're 7, okay? We're 7 years old. We know nothing about physics or space travel, anything that we might know about those subjects, just forget them and pretend that you're 7 years old.
That's right.
And it was great. You know, loved the whole thing, cried like a baby at the end. And then a little later I got it out in video and I was going like, this is arse water. Jesus. It was just, it's so bad.
It was beautiful.
Oh boy.
Culture.
Anyway, Aussie movies. Yes, so Gus Sampson looks set to revive the Aussie movie industry with a film about a guy holding in a poo. Co-directors Lee Whannell and Angus Sampson, who was in You and Your Stupid Mate, are making a stink with their corny production, The Mule, at South by Southwest, which is the film festival of new directorial talent held annually in Austin, Texas. The film stars Sampson as a hapless first-time drug courier pinched in customs by hard-arse cop Hugo Weaving. Nabbed on his passage back from Bangkok with a baggie of H in his gut, Sampson's mule overhears that they can only hold him for 5 days, so he resists surrendering the evidence the only way he can, by clenching the log cutter and holding on for dear life. Based on a true story.
A true story?
Based on a true... That's what it says here, homie. The film takes some truly stomach-churning turns as Gus pushes his body to every extreme possible to keep from releasing the hounds, all the while being squeezed by the cops and attempting to throw his employers off the scent. What?
No, keep going.
Now, there are those local cynics here in Australia who say that Australian movies are shit. But hopefully, analysis of this sturdy release will speak of a system in good health. No news of a firm date in Australia yet, but no doubt when it lands, it'll be making a splash.
Oh, no.
This is gold. I can turn off your mic. Screw you. You don't want to be part of the show? Go home.
Bronze. Copper. Aluminum.
Aluminum is a Very versatile metal, I'll have you
Wood.
know. Gavilan.
Sand.
All right, then. You do one, then. Come on.
No.
No
No,
turd
no.
jokes? Yeah,
No,
that's
no.
what I thought. Anyway, in other fresh turd news, yeah, Justin Bieber. They call him the Count, but they leave out the O.
Yes.
Yes. The bubonic plague, which began in Canada, is still running rampant in the US, proving yet again that there is no justice in this godless universe. The preening, sneering little dick smear is in the news again, with TMZ's release this week of the edited highlights of the video footage of his deposition in the suit recently launched against the Prince of Prick's own bodyguard, Hugo Hesney. The plaintiff, press photographer Jeffrey Binion, alleges that, on Bieber's orders, Hesney pinned him to a wall by the throat, threatening with a concealed weapon, while Bieber's other bodyguards nabbed the memory card from his camera. In the 4-hour deposition video, Bieber grunts, sneers, poses, naps, and generally acts like a cartoonishly contemptible little shit stain in dire need of being stripped, pegged, and stomped to death in a skip.
Yeah, he was pretty,
I would volunteer for that duty. He was pretty...
just awful.
The
He's pretty blasé about it all.
the contempt was amazing.
Yeah, little shite.
Yeah, well, there you go.
He's going to have a mighty fall, like Leif Garrett.
Oh.
Leif Garrett's on the streets now.
It's going to be great. I mean, I don't like to be, I don't normally enjoy the schadenfreude of watching a B-list celebrity go down the tubes. But Bieber, the more I hear about him, the less I like him. He's the new Hitler. Anyway,
Oh, no.
no, when Brad and I first started the show,
The new Hitler.
when Brad and I first started the show, we were going to have a weekly segment called Douchebag of the Week, where we would look at the entertainment news and call out any celebrities for being a bit too egotistical, maybe lording it over fans,
Yep.
generally acting in a disagreeable way. And in fact, there were plans to award a Douchebag of the Year award in December to the celebrity with the most wins.
Yep.
But, of course, after just 2 weeks, it became apparent that we were just going to have to hand it straight to Bieber every
Straight to
single
Bieber.
week. Yeah.
Straight. Yep.
So, without further ado, we here at Movie Groove would like to present Pop Turd Justin Bieber with the inaugural Movie Groove Douchebag of the Year award for 2014.
Well done.
Congratulations, Justin.
All yours, buddy.
Now, we don't have a massive budget, so if you could pick up your award in person, that would really help us out. Just meet us here at Movie Groove Studios in Sydney. We'll be waiting at the bottom of the fire escape to present you with your trophy, the coveted golden baseball bat. Come alone. And, this is the moment we've all been waiting for, guys. The MTV Movie Awards are coming up, and in an exclusive interview with Movie Groove, Mark Wahlberg, ladies and gentlemen, spills the beans on what we should expect from the big night.
Oh, Mark Wahlberg. I've loved him ever since he was in Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Oh, yeah.
Feel it,
Was it Marky Mark and the Brady Bunch?
No, Funky Bunch.
With Alice.
He was
Alice
the one
is the backup singer.
He was the one that started the underpants above the waistline thing.
Oh,
so that's,
yeah, that's right, of course.
Yeah, so anyway, check this out. Mr. Wahlberg, it's an honor to have you here on Movie Groove. What can I say? You're a screen star with brawn, brains, and talent. And the news is, of course, that you'll be honored at the upcoming MTV Movie Awards with the Generation Award, which must be very gratifying after all you've achieved on screen. Tell me, is there any reason at all to think that the MTV Movie Awards are, or indeed ever have been, worth the barest cursory glance in the direction of a TV set?
What? No.
Thanks for your time.
Wow. What a guy.
I know, right? That was amazing.
He's such a nice guy. Very taller. He's taller than I thought, too.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was...
I know what you mean, but such a gentleman. Such a gentleman. Such a pleasure to meet him. Normally I get starstruck, but he just has his way of putting you at your ease.
Brought some coffee in for us as well.
It couldn't have been
What
more
a guy.
polite. Anyway, Mark Wahlberg.
Though I did tell him to pull his pants up, though, because
It's really...
Mate, what are you doing? Pull your pants up.
And he didn't really get all that bit.
No, he said, "Oh, sorry."
He took it. It was
it's
absolute
just how they do it in
gentleman.
Australia.
Yeah.
Yep, pulled him up.
Tell you what, that's it for a News Hope.
Nice guy.
It really was. That is it for News Hope. And remember, when it comes to movie news, this source will be with you, always. Vincent Price there.
And the other guy.
Oh yeah, the Michael Jackson too.
Yeah.
You may remember him. He died a little while ago.
Yes,
But Vincent Price, he's the man.
he is.
He does that
Spooky.
evil laugh. Nobody does it better. Nobody does it better. She's singing about shagging.
Is she?
Isn't she?
I thought it was an ad for some real estate agent.
You know, you're thinking harder than I am.
I don't know if I'm thinking at all, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to remind you, if you've tuned in, you are not listening to Parliamentary Question Time. You are listening to Energy Groove Radio, transmitting live. We're transmitting live, Mr. Speaker, from Sydney City and all around the world. This show is called Movie Groove. My name's Alister Lockhart, and sitting with me in the chair is the one and only...
The drunken member, Frog Avalanche, will be seated.
Next on the show, we've got the segment of the show where we have a look at what's opening in theatres in Australia and all around the world. This is Opening Scene.
Huzzah! Hooray!
And if you thought last week was a wasteland of nothing, this week we have Need for Speed, a movie based on a game franchise that was looking tired before the turn of the century.
Yes.
Breaking Bad's Aaron Paul stars as a young actor with a promising start to his career, but the up-and-coming star must consider firing his agent after suffering the embarrassment of appearing in a movie trailer which, despite minutely selective editing, makes it painfully apparent that the poor bastard has nothing to work with and is acting his arse off trying not to look like he's just shit himself in a job interview.
Ew.
Oh, it's really embarrassing. I'll play a clip from it in a second, but yeah, if you look at the trailer, there's, you know, he's supposed to be hanging out with his home slices, and they're like, you know, I'm going out with this girl. Oh, is she pretty? Yo, mama's pretty. Ah ha ha ha.
Yeah.
That was a funny thing to say. Aye. Anyway, also starring Michael Keaton doing his hammy worst and an ill-advised cameo as a DJ. An utterly redundant character, obviously shoehorned in to try and make the movie more interesting by having him appear enthralled in what's happening and saying so. So just to give you a taste, most of what you hear in this clip is Keaton. Prepare to be stunned by some of the best bird's-eye view monologue that Hollywood has to offer. Are you ready for this?
Oh, yeah.
Racing is an art.
Revenge will surely come.
But racing with passion, that's high art. And I think that's Toby Marshall driving the chariot of the gods.
We'll settle this behind the wheel.
I can feel love, vengeance, motor oil all swirling together. Maybe we should rethink the plan.
I'm never gonna stop.
It sounds like they've just let him make up his own dialogue, you know, Brando style in Heart of Darkness.
Yes.
You know, just make up your own dialogue. This is going to be great. Oh dear. Oh dear, dearie me.
They all sounded like they were on Valiums, like, let's settle this behind the wheel.
Like I said, nothing to work with.
No.
You know, it's it sounds like it was written by a machine, but you know, if you've got like nothing better to do, you know, maybe you don't have to paint that stuff on your toenails. It gets rid of that kind of yellowy fungus.
Oh, I like that stuff.
Then
I mean, I hear it's very good.
you smear it on your upper lip and just breathing through your nose. It's as wacky as hell. Kids, don't do drugs.
Chariot of the Gods. I wonder if there's a bus for the gods. If you don't have a chariot, you can just get the bus.
For the gods, yeah.
Neptune's driving
The
again.
rickshaw of the gods.
The
Anyway,
rickshaw of the god. I like that.
That's Need for Speed. Lots of unlikely action and fast cars. So if you're a big fan of the Fast and Furious franchise, don't worry. It'll get bigger when you start to become a man. Patrick, Evil Awakens. Now, we all remember, those of us who are older than anybody listening to this radio show, the Aussie horror cult favourite from 1978, Patrick, is back in remake form. You remember that one?
The only Patrick I know is from SpongeBob SquarePants.
Okay, so it's not about a starfish, it's about a psychic and psychotic catatonic who communicates only by waiting until you get close and suddenly expectorating in your face.
Ew.
That's spitting to you at home, so get your mind out of the gutter. That's the grotty little personality quirk that so inspired Tarantino that he added it to the character of the bride in Kill Bill. Remember that scene in Kill Bill? My name's Buck, and I'm here to be very good friends with you.
Reassess your tax. Yeah. I'm here about the plumbing.
Anyway, it's got Sharni Vincent.
Sharni?
As it Sharni. Sorry, I'm a Scotsman, so I say Sharni. But Sharni, if you're an Australian. Sharni Vincent is a young nurse recently added to the staff of a hospital for coma victims run by Mad Dr. Charles Dance, who better, doing his sinister best as a politely intimidating psychopath, as well as Rachel Griffiths playing nurse who knows what's going on. I wonder if she'll die. Oops, there she goes. It's in the trailer. The film opened last year in Australia to strong reviews, but nobody noticed because the marketing budget of most Aussie films will only stretch far enough to have a production assistant and a sandwich board yelling on a street corner for about an hour. On this one, they've splurged and added Evil Awakens to the title for its release in the States this week, so with a little luck, the lack of any real competition will see someone sitting through it. Godspeed, little batter.
Evil Awakens. I didn't know Evil slept.
Well, no, he's in a coma, so there's a bit of a spoiler in the title yet again.
So Evil naps.
Yeah, Evil takes a nap.
Evil naps.
And then wakes up grumpy.
And then has a coffee, and then maybe a bit of brekkie, and then
Complains about the weather, scratches his bum.
Wakes up and has a shower, and then, all right, Evil's awake. All right, who do I slay now? Well, you don't want Evil running out of milk before breakfast.
No.
Because then he'd be like really nasty.
Really grumpy.
Really grumpy.
You don't want Evil grumpy.
Anyway. Evil half awake, but grumpy. Yeah.
Otherwise known as Dad. Also, the Veronica Mars movie finally hit screens. The cult TV favourite having been brought to the screen through a wildfire campaign on Kickstarter.com. In the series, Kristen Bell, who looks to me like a cross between Jennifer Garner and Michael Cera, plays a high school student who solves crimes in her spare time because that's how TV shows work. Despite its dedicated fan base, the show was cancelled after only 2 seasons, but the character has been granted a new lease of life after fans paid to get the movie made, which is nice. Kickstarter.com, of course, being the online crowdfunding site, started to give unknown artists a platform for drawing capital to get their projects up and running. This has, of course, been immediately co-opted by established filmmakers, so idiots can pay to make their favourite movies as well as paying to see them. Seems fair. So that's Veronica Mars. I never saw the show, so I don't care. And finally, Tyler Perry has a new movie out, which bafflingly people will go to, proving yet again that the movie Idiocracy is not so much science fiction as a stone-hearted expose of the marketing data of Walmart.
Oh.
If you've seen that movie, why not tell us on the Twitter feed, and we'll look at it. I promise. Please, somebody tweet. I have to do this every week. Why do I have to beg you people?
Nah, we don't want your tweets. Keep your tweets, you filthy animals. We don't want them.
Liam's been tweeting. He's our biggest fan.
Oh, except for Liam.
Yeah,
tweet on
awesome.
Liam.
And a good-looking guy, ladies.
Oh, yeah.
That's,
He's single, ladies.
That is the opening scene for this week. So until next week, know this. It's always darkest before the opening scene.
Get down, get down, get down.
It's a song I often sing to my cat.
Boogie. Get down.
My cats are the stupidest creatures on the face of the planet.
Are they?
Yeah.
How stupid are they?
I'm sorry, I don't have a gag prepared for that full line.
Come on.
I don't know, we just can't seem to teach them not to jump up on the counter in the middle of the night and drag like loaves of bread off and then chew through the corner.
Bread? Wow.
So one of them is just the stupidest pet that I've ever had, and I've had a lot, you know. I have to resist the urge to call him dummy in front of the children. But anyway, if you've just tuned in, we're talking pussy. On Energy Groove Radio, transmitting live from Sydney City and all around the world, this is Movie Groove. It's what's on screen. My name's Alister Lockhart, and sitting in the chair with me is the amazing, the one and only, the sexy Gavalanche.
Oh, yeah.
I've got to get your own musical sting as well. That's something that's definitely on the list. Now, you'll remember that we were talking the other week about editing, because as I said, our show goes clean to air.
Oh, yes.
And there's always a distinct possibility that somebody might record it and then cut the stuff together to make it sound like we're less reputable than we actually are.
That's terrible.
And that's going to be a terrible step down. That's going to take us to an awful low point. Like, here's an example of something that Gav said the other week. Have a listen and see what you think. And Gavalanche is sitting next to me in the chair.
Actually, that's a TV show. Teenage mums. See, like, you want good love stories, like your wife.
Oh,
I love her.
well, see, she's
pretty funny.
Yeah.
Rob Lowe, pretty good actor, actually. Belushi. Teenage mums.
Is it
Mr. Red.
Okay.
And my mum.
But I'm sorry.
Bow chicka wow wow.
So
Wilbur, get to the sausage. This is definitely B grade.
Okay, so
endless love and send photos. Swing.
Yeah.
Oh, everyone's a winner.
I think we should move on.
I can mime it if you want.
No, don't do that.
Here we go. Watch.
No. Oh my God.
What do you think?
I'm warming to it.
All right.
So you see what I mean? So if somebody were to actually take that piece of raw footage and cut it,
well, that'd be terrible.
It really would be awful.
I should say some random words so they can really slice it together. Loch Ness Monster. Egg salad. Man on the moon. Dichotomy. E = MC². lap dance.
I'm going to have that for you next week, Pot Pickers.
Do your best.
No, but yeah, you do make a good point, and I do think that we're going to have to, from now on, be very, very, very careful about what we say on air. On another note, Gav,
Yeah.
do you know what I really like?
What do you like?
Richard Nixon.
Dicky Nicky.
Well, Dick to his friends. I actually like Richard Harris as well, and Richard Burton, and Richard Linklater.
You like
all
a
the
lot
big
of-
ones. I like big dicks.
You like big dicks?
I like big dicks.
And he cannot lie.
God, I like big dicks. I'm a sucker for them, you would say.
Yes.
Yes.
I see that.
I just thought I would mention that. Anyway, moving on. Occasionally on this show, we would like to focus on the movie news that makes the Geek Clique bust its leak. This is the Geekly Roundup.
I'm nerdy in the extreme and whiter than sour cream. I was in a V club and Glee club and even the chess team. Nerdy.
Yes, and this week on the Geekly Roundup, we've got Transformers Age of Extinction again. Damn right. And if you want mediocre, Michael Bay delivers. This week saw the release of both the new teaser trailer and character poster of the newly redesigned Optimus Prime, featuring an unremarkable Gundam knockoff on a Thai tourism stock photo background. The really good news is that fans of the series are beginning to show some real progress, and dribbling aside, doctors are hopeful that they will begin to respond to external stimuli within the next few months. Movie Groove, of course, exclusively debuted the trailer 2 weeks ago. If you missed it, here's that clip again.
All hands to combat!
What? No.
Mark Wahlberg there again. Astonishing performance in that movie. Anyway, director Michael Bay has promised to bring his A game on this one, despite the daily stream of letter bombs and death threats that have become routine for his production staff. In other news on Michael Bay, Interpol have reported that to date, privately commissioned snipers have killed or injured at least 17 of the director's many lookalikes. Meanwhile, the real Michael Bay's whereabouts remain a mystery.
They're going postal on him.
Let's hope. Comic geeks. They're ablaze with the teaser trailer for the new Sin City movie, A Dame to Kill For, the sequel to the 2005 CG noir film featuring a cavalcade of stunt-casted character actors and a green screen, and literally nothing else. Rodriguez returns to bring his ham-fisted, overplayed cartoon style to another of Frank Miller's impossibly tasteless, over-the-top violent comic noir thrillers to produce a movie as subtle and nuanced as Miley Cyrus doing zoo porn on bath salts. Now, I am not alleging that Miley Cyrus has ever done zoo porn on bath salts.
Give her a chance. Give her a bit.
The first movie, of course, featured a cannibalistic serial prostitute killer played by Frodo Baggins, cop-killing assassin hookers, freelancing Irish terrorists, a deformed psychotic pedophile with no genitals, and Bruce Willis. Ooh, that was the scariest bit for mine.
Yes.
In this, the characters of the first movie, including the dead ones, such as Mickey Rourke's murderous man-child Marv, return in a sequel/prequel about a lovesick private dick obsessed with a manipulative femme fatale. At least that's the plot of one of the books. Who knows how much of Miller's repetitive and increasingly stupid woman hatred has been shoehorned into this one. In any case, if you love the first movie, you may want to check this out if you can get to a cinema without violating your parole. Are you going to be looking that one up?
Yeah, I might have a look. The first one was pretty dark.
I like the very first book, which was like the story that comprised the first third of the first movie. The rest of it is it goes downhill fairly, and as I say, it's all green screen stuff. Basically there's nothing real on screen whatsoever. I'm not sure I'm going to bother with that one, but hey, everybody else liked it. The hell do I know? I'm just a troll. Weinstein is up to his old tricks again, but the news is good on this one, for us, if not for director Bong Joon-ho.
What's his name?
Bong Joon-ho.
Bong Joon-ho.
Yeah, there's. I came up with a whole bunch of material for that, but then I thought, no, all of this is incredibly racist.
Yeah, no, you can't really. I mean, what are you going to do about Bong? Where's the Jew joke and the ho?
Bong Joon-ho. So
I can't see any humour coming out of that.
Have fun with that one at home, kids. His long-awaited sci-fi film Snowpiercer, which is the movie adaptation of the French graphic novel. Now, I've got to get this right for the French speakers. Le Transpersonnage. I hope that's right. I'm sorry, people who speak French. This is the latest film to fall under Weinstein's knife. The film stars Billy Elliot and Captain America, It also has a naturalistic performance from John Hurt playing a mummified cadaver, and scenery-chewing weirdo Tilda Swinton as the bastard offspring of Ian Paisley and Mary Whitehouse. In a post-apocalyptic future, a failed global warming experiment involving the Snowpiercer, a supersonic train on a perpetual global circuit, has killed off all life on Earth except those on board the train. Over time, a class system has evolved with the privileged elite up front and the disgruntled underclass at the back.
Passengers, as in the beginning, I belong to the front. You belong to the tail. Keep your place. Curtis, is it time?
Now isn't the time.
Well, when is the time?
Soon. Are you Namgoon Min-Soo? Security specialist? We control the engine, we control the world. This time we take the engine.
Then what?
We kill him.
Yeah.
It looks good. This is the point, is that I don't know if you ever saw a movie, I can't remember, it was Babylon something. It had Vin Diesel in it, and it was by a French director. Babylon AD, it was called.
Right.
And it would have been a really great film, and unfortunately the director had to deal with producers and distributors from the United States who were going like, there's all this kind of artsy-fartsy meaning and context in it. If we cut that out, then we might just have a movie here.
Yep.
So you end up with like an hour 20 worth of just nothing that stops at the end.
But this movie, they're all on a train.
They're on a train. So apparently the train has got something to do with, like, at some point it was supposed to save the world, right?
Right.
But it didn't. The opposite happened. It froze the world solid, and everybody, all other life on the planet is stone dead, and the only people that are left alive are on the train, and they've been on there for, I don't know, a couple centuries or something.
Wow.
And so a class system has evolved where all the people who do the work, of course, are in the rear of the train, and all the elite are at the front. And then in front of them is the engine, which they consider to be sacred.
Right.
So it all sounds very interesting, but Weinstein had the deal to distribute the movie in the States and all around, I think, in Australia, the Pacific, Europe as well. They've been refusing to distribute it as a cinema-wide release until the director approves of his cut-down version of the movie. He's taken like 20 whole minutes out of it. A 2.5-hour movie.
Yeah.
Now, Harvey's many things, but an editor he ain't, and the deal has taken some time to close. Harvey's got his side of the story. I'm not cutting for fun, he told the New Yorker in 2002. I'm cutting for the shit to work. All my life I served one master, the film. I love movies.
Wow.
So there it is. If I didn't know better, I'd say that no matter how much it might gut the film of any meaning or context, Harvey's got to have his optimum number of shows per day. If I didn't know better. But anyway, this is not Harvey's first rodeo. He's infamous for slaughtering Stephen Chow's Shaolin Soccer and Liu Zhang's Hero, which he shelved for 2 entire years before cinephile Quentin Tarantino intervened on the Chinese director's behalf. He's also responsible for the English dub cut of Miyazaki's Princess Mononoke, an adaptation so insulting to the Japanese animation master he has since refused to authorize distribution of his movies outside Japan until he has personally approved the translation. So while Harvey's pretty certain he knows better than Miyazaki what works and what doesn't, if it's all the same to you, Harv, I'm a take it under advisement. Anyway, the wash-up is that the movie will now be released in its original uncut form on VOD, that's video on demand for you old people, and limited screens, which means the geek interest in the project, created largely by the conflict, can now be sated in the comfort of your own home from June 27, but not, of course, if you live in Australia. So, well, this is kind of wandering on a bit.
I was born under a wandering star.
What's the name of that actor?
That was Lee Marvin.
Lee Marvin! Damn it, you had it and I didn't. Anyway,
Paint your wagon.
I'm slipping. That's all we have on the Geekly Roundup for this week. And remember, if it ain't an obsession, it ain't geek. And in the studio, we also have Brad and Cara. They're being quiet.
Actually, there's no one here.
No, they are here. Go on, say something.
No, they're not.
No, they're not going to say anything.
They're not here. What are you talking about? What are you on about, mate?
It's that shh.
You got Siggy Butt Brain, mate.
It's the theatre of the mind.
Siggy Butt Brain.
It's radio. Now, you remember I was talking earlier about people sort of recutting the audio to make it sound like scurrilous things were happening on this show.
Yes.
Again, I wanted to play this clip
Mm-hmm.
from the other week. Here we go. See what you make of this. Brad, you saw this the other night.
I hated it. It was too long.
Okay. Yeah, no, it was.
Yeah.
And I think it might just have seemed longer.
Beautiful to look at, but way too long and dry.
But yeah, it was longer than it needed to be. Longer than the original, certainly. Now, I'm not really sure what we were talking about there, but as I say, like, if that stuff goes out clean to air.
Yeah.
So
I know Brad was on about that, B-Rad. If he was in the studio.
I'm just saying that people could really cut that stuff together and make it sound like we were saying all sorts of scurrilous things.
Oh, yeah, of course.
On an entirely unrelated note, Gav, do you know what I like?
What do you like?
Poultry.
Poultry?
I love turkey. I love chicken. I love quail. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I love cock.
You do?
God, I love cock.
Yes.
I really, really love cock.
Do you like eggs?
Some people say that the skin is the best part, but I just really like it when that firm meat just explodes in the back of your mouth. I just wish I had some cock in my mouth right now. I don't know why I bring it up, but anyway. Each week, we breach the veil between worlds.
That was class, Al.
I'm sorry.
That's quality radio. Okay. Good thing we've got a total combined listening population of about 4.
It's the best satire on radio. It's movie groove. It's what's on screen.
Your poor family, your young boys at home, like, Daddy's on the radio. Coming out, Daddy, you like cock? I like cock too, Daddy. It's show and tell.
Go to bed.
My dad likes cock.
Go to bed, boys.
Poor children.
Go to bed. Anyway, each week we breach the veil between worlds as we look at events of the future in theaters across the globe. Globe. Through the terrifying wormhole of the event horizon.
Increase power to maximum. We are going through.
So there's a Zorro reboot in the works.
Zorro?
Yeah.
Right.
Like we needed another one. Sony have revealed that in this installment they'll be doing the Nolan treatment and making him a dark, broody, self-absorbed, whiny emo prat because that works so well with Man of Steel.
No. Zorro's going to be fun.
I know.
I'm here to save the day.
We'll make it dark. The market reaction to fun is not testing well, apparently. Anyway, in a worldwide exclusive, producers Walter Parks and Laurie McDonald had told Movie Groove that they're doing more of a Dark Knight-style unveiling of the character with a new backstory, gritty realism, and emotional core. Exclusive is bullshit. Producers have never spoken to Movie Groove. It sounds like Zorro isn't going to be all swashbuckle. There will be swordplay. But combined with European martial arts that combine swords, daggers, grappling, and bare knuckles, which is actually kind of cool for mine.
Yeah.
Because,
fight scenes would be great.
Well, that's what archaic sword fighting was actually like. Not the ridiculous Three Musketeer fakey fake bullshit you usually get.
Cyrano de Bergerac.
Yeah, clang, clang, clang. Like, no, the archaic fighting. I know a guy who actually teaches it. An archaic sword fighting was, they would grab you by the wrist and like snap, and then when you were distracted with that, then they would run you through with a sword. So they used everything they had at their disposal. So if they go in that route, it's going to be awesome. My buddy who actually knows about this stuff, he said that the only movie that he knows of that's really got any genuine looking sword fighting in it, the only one that's ever come out of Hollywood, is Rob Roy with Liam Neeson.
Rob Roy.
Yeah. So so check that one out if you're interested in sword fighting at all. Apparently it looks real.
Zorro.
This direction would definitely take the character away from the more family-friendly adventures that he's classically undertaken. So I'm guessing that in the finale with his rival Captain Ramon, our hero will be forced to wrench Ramon's head from his neck, shit in it, and punt it over a cliff.
Fatality.
so that numb, vacant, Xbox-damaged 12-year-olds won't sleep through the end.
Yes.
And Sony are also working on a Men in Black reboot.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I know. Today they told Movie Groove, it's been almost 3 months since these characters were on the screen. It's time to update them for the new financial quarter.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Anyway, zombies.
Zombies.
And games producers Naughty Dog have signed a deal to bring us the big screen adaptation of PS4 survival horror hit The Last of Us in conjunction with producer Sam Raimi, director of the Evil Dead and Spider-Man trilogies. 5 of those movies are good, and the other one is Spider-Man 3. The Last of Us is... You saw it.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing any argument here. No. The Last of Us is recognized as being something of an evolutionary step up in video games in that it has a cinematic story style featuring writing that doesn't suck my hairy balls. The story follows a shattered and bereaved man who must escort a young girl through a post-apocalyptic wasteland and deliver her to a group of anti-government freedom fighters because she may be mankind's last hope. Sound familiar? That's because it's the same plot as Children of Men, but with zombies. So I guess if you're going to rip something off, make it something good.
Wasn't that Z for Zachariah as well?
Probably.
Yeah.
So now I think we're all thinking the same thing here.
Yeah, I was thinking of cheeseburgers, but yeah.
Okay, we're not all thinking the same thing. What I was actually thinking was, if Sam Raimi's making a zombie movie, it needs to have Bruce Campbell in it, right?
Why not?
Yeah. The instant they announce that he's been cast, they've got my money. End of story. Now, before you write in to inform me that Raimi and Campbell are already getting the band back together for Army of Darkness 2, remember who you're talking to. I know. I can't wait for that one either. I don't care. I want as many movies with Bruce Campbell fighting zombies as Raimi can make until one of us dies. Try and keep it quiet back there, Cara. This is a professional radio station.
Hail to the king, baby.
Oh, there he is.
First you want to kill me, then you want to kiss me. Blow.
What?
Nothing.
What's that from?
Army of Darkness.
Is that from Army of Darkness? Oh, right. Oh, it's a... No, so I haven't seen that one in a while. The one that I always remember is, she says, "You loved me once." And he says, "Baby, you got real ugly."
Oh, it's my boomstick.
So Raimi is currently in post-production, also in post-production on the remake of 1982 Steven Spielberg, Tobe Hooper horror classic Poltergeist. The remake of that one as well.
Poltergeist.
Slated for release in 2015. The original was a massive worldwide hit and is still reputed to be cursed. Of the young stars who played the Freeling family children in the film, 7-year-old Heather O'Rourke died of an intestinal ailment while filming the second sequel in 1988. Teenager Dominique Dunn, this is tragic, was strangled by her boyfriend soon after the original film's release.
God.
And 11-year-old Oliver Robbins was nearly choked to death while filming the infamous haunted clown doll scene. Yeah, Dominique Dunn. She's actually the sister of Griffin Dunn. Remember he died at the beginning of An American Werewolf in London?
Ah, yes.
Jack's friend. So that was his sister. And her boyfriend was a woman-beating scumbag.
Right.
Actually, shortly after she was in this film, her last role was she played a teenage bride who was being beaten by her husband on Hill Street Blues. And she didn't have to wear makeup because when she turned up to the set, she genuinely was all bruised up from what her boyfriend had done.
That's
the
awful.
night before. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So, and then he strangled her. So that's what happened to Dominique Dunn. So also dead soon after was director Tobe Hooper's career. Because he was so passive and unfocused on set that producer Spielberg basically had to direct the movie for him. So he was the guy that brought us the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is having a 40-year remaster release.
Really?
On Blu-ray this month.
40 years?
Yeah, I know. How do you feel, Gav?
Oh, young at heart. Makes me just want to grab my Husqvarna and get out there.
Let's hope so.
Start slaying.
Let's hope we're feeling young at heart because it's going to happen somewhere. More remakes. And currently in production at Disney is a live-action version of Rudyard Kipling's children's classic, The Jungle Book, which formed the source of the classic 1967 animated version, also produced at Disney. This time Disney has Iron Man director Jon Favreau at the helm, who will be looking to bring the same family-friendly feel to it as he gave us in Zathura and Elf, and not the intensely flat, dull, why isn't this any fun at all feel of Cowboys and Aliens. Did you see that?
Didn't bother.
Oh, it was going to be so good, and then you watched it. It's like John Ford, but stupid. It was supposed to be fun, but then it had all these scenes of his wife getting eviscerated by evil aliens. It was stupid.
So this new Jungle Book, are they going to call it like Jungle iPad or?
Who the hell knows? But the good news is, and you might like this.
Yes.
The good news is that they've announced the casting of Shere Khan. Honey-throated English dreamboat Idris Elba, who played Stringer Bell in The Wire, you'll remember. He'll be the voice of Shere Khan, the Bengal tiger who hates humans but just can't resist the taste. They're also memorably played by George Sanders in the 1967 version. And here's a taste of that.
Forgive me if I've interrupted anything.
Oh, no, nothing at all.
But you were singing to someone. Who is it, Carr?
No. No. Well, I was just singing to myself.
Indeed.
Yes. You see, I have trouble with my sinuses.
What a pity.
Oh, you have no idea. It's simply terrible. I can't eat. I can't sleep. so I sing myself to sleep. Let me show you how it works. Trust in me.
No, I can't be bothered with that. I have no time for that sort of nonsense.
Some other time, perhaps.
Perhaps.
I have no time for that kind of nonsense.
I love that. You were speaking to someone up there in car. Who is it?
He sounds like the bad lion from The Lion King.
He does have a little bit. Well, Jeremy Irons has a little bit of George Sanders to him. He was a classic English bad guy for years and years and years, and this was quite later on. He also played Mr. Freeze in the '60s Batman TV show.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Mr. Freeze.
So see, now you're excited.
I am.
George Sanders, we miss you.
We do.
The
dulcet tones.
Anyway, I think Idris Elba would be a good choice. I don't do an Idris Elba, so I'm not going to.
Okay.
But I do like George Sanders.
My dear boy.
I can't be bothered with all that.
Oh, my dear boy.
Anyway, also in production over at Warner Brothers is a live-action version of Rudyard Kipling's children's classic, The Jungle Book, which formed the source of the classic 1967 animated. This one reportedly has Ron Howard at the helm, so both studios are going with directors you've actually heard of, at least.
So hang on a sec. They're doing two.
Yeah, Warner Brothers are doing one and Disney are doing one.
At the same time.
At the same time.
Good thinking.
Yeah. Well, maybe because the title alone won't have the draw of a property like RoboCop or Evil Dead. Maybe both studios just feel the property is worth a strong investment. Maybe I give a shit.
Yeah.
Also on the way, I'm sorry about this, but it's true. Gritty live-action versions of other archaic classics like Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Tarzan, Peter Pan, and many more. Presumably because Hollywood is now so bereft of creativity they'll only bet on properties they don't have to buy the rights to.
So they're going to darken them all up like Cinderella gone dark.
God, I hate movies.
Cinderella doing pole dancing and
I don't
Snow
know.
White getting jiggy with the dwarves.
They're doing a dark and gritty... I heard this today. Now, this was on Cracked.com. Mm-hmm. Which is not like The Onion. They don't do bullshit.
Yeah.
They said that they're going to be doing a Santa Claus movie called Winter Night.
Winter Night.
He's one man with a beard. In a world where there are no rules, one man will give us presents. But if you've been on the naughty list...
So, they're doing a new movie basing it on the older Nordic... traditions of how, like Santa Claus will bring you presents, but if you don't, then you'll get stomped to death by his mighty reindeer Sleipnir. Or there's another version where the Krampus will come and get you, who's basically a sort of a tree/devil thing.
Wow.
Good children get presents, and bad children get ripped to pieces.
Cool. Ents. Crazy Ents.
Yeah, so it's really great parenting. It's just a good way to keep the kids from running off into the dark.
Fair enough.
But, and that would work as well.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what they've got planned for us. It's going to be a great summer next year. Anyway, that's everything this week on the horizon. We now return you to your regularly scheduled reality. Hayao Miyazaki has guaranteed his work as a permanent landmark in pop culture history. His beautiful, intelligent, and dreamlike movies wander so far outside of convention, for mine, that the term Studio Ghibli has become a category all of its own, the work speaking almost universally of our relationship with our inner child. While many Japanese filmmakers are cultural traditionalists, Miyazaki is a dedicated Anglophile, and this is a sensibility that's made his works beloved favourites, not only in his home country, but also across the notoriously xenophobic Western market. The Wind Rises is reportedly Miyazaki's last movie, and in what appears to be his most dreamlike and deeply personal story yet, he shows us in this instance an idealized world viewed through the rose-tinted dreams of childhood. Jiro Hiroshi is a principled and intelligent Japanese boy who dreams only of building beautiful aircraft, dreams always shadowed by the inevitable use of these as weapons of war. Through the film we watch him grow into a man and a talented engineer. As the country suffers the earthquake and fire which all but leveled Tokyo, the Great Depression, the rise of fascism, and the advent of war. Despite these troubles, Jiro's Japan is a picture-perfect postcard of green fields under vanilla and blue skies, clean streets, sparkling rivers, even the chimney stacks and factories are beautiful. Everyone is a hard-working member of a peaceful community united in hardship. every exterior scene is blown by a sweet and gentle breeze that carries cherry blossoms, leaves, or glowing embers. And the tone is further softened in the scenes featuring smoke-belching industry or nature's destructive power, with the use of only human voices and the creation of the sound effects for these. This Japan is as the childhood memory of an older man, idyllic and fondly edited to exclude any real darkness or dread. There are few antagonists in the story, and their fleeting appearances at worst cause Jiro no more than mild consternation. The story is not about the horrors of war, or the ruthlessness of the secret police who, in this, only read his letters from home, or the destruction caused by his masterwork, the Mitsubishi AM-60, the fighter plane that led the attacks on Pearl Harbor, pulling the US into the war and ultimately leading to the nuclear destruction of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Through everything, the protagonist and the audience are shielded from these events as all of it happens off-screen. It's about Jiro and his adherence to his dreams through all that his country suffers, including his own personal loss to the Asian tuberculosis pandemic of the mid-20th century. Again, working against convention, Miyazaki invests his character with no traditional arc to speak of, and deals with his hardships and relationships in the most understated and emotional manner possible, examining only his passions for his work in any detail, and in such detail that every frame of animation has been lavish with attention, down to the smallest movement made by the character working alone. This is neither a movie for history buffs or action fans of any stripe. It is a quiet, deeply emotional journey through a moving work of art. So quiet, in fact, that chewing through a bucket of popcorn while watching it feels almost disrespectful. If you love Miyazaki's work, you ought to relish the experience of seeing this on the big screen, but the ultra-soft storybook treatment of The Wind Rises makes Disney's Frozen look like a gritty, horrifying thrill ride. This is for art lovers and hopeless romantics only, and definitely not for kids. And I'm giving it a beautiful.
You want a chip, not a plankton, bro?
So just having a look at the Movie Groove Twitter feed, Liam's been tweeting nice and regular. But apart from that...
Liam's not a Siggy Butt brain.
No. Al's Movie Groove. So apparently I'm single, my girlfriend is going to freak. I hope everything's going okay, Liam. Because that doesn't sound like good news to me. I don't know, maybe you can tweet us again with a little bit of context there. That's a glimpse into Liam's world.
Tell us more, Liam. Cool story, bro. Cool story.
I genuinely,
tell us more.
I genuinely hope that everything's going okay.
Are you single, Liam? If so, why? Any ladies out there that want to meet Liam?
Yeah,
1-800-LIAM.
If you'd like to hit us up on the Twitter feed, and apparently you never ever do, then it's Al's Movie Groove, all one word with a capital A. Tell me you love me.
He likes long walks off a gangplank.
And pina coladas and getting caught in the rain.
That's right.
Anyway, each week here at Movie Groove, we take a look at the oft-overlooked art of movie music from Hollywood and the unsung heroes who create it. This is a bit that we call the sound of movies. I may never ever get sick of that.
No, it's pretty good.
Last week at The Sound of Movies, we profiled the great John Williams, a 5-time Oscar-winning composer of soundtracks such as these ones. You remember this one?
Yeah.
It's the
What's that, Brad?
This is actually a little-known alternate movie.
Mm-hmm.
This is a...
What's this one?
Oh, no, this one.
Yeah.
Is Harry Potter.
What is Britney Spears?
Right, this one is Star Wars.
No. No.
That's just 5 of the tracks.
And he wrote Hey True Blue.
That's John Williamson.
Yeah, that's his son.
Not quite the same thing.
The guy from Toto.
No, well, okay. So I was just coming to that. It also came to light that in between gigs, John had some downtime with a wife, and so produced an heir. One Joseph Williams, who, as it turned out, is a talented composer and musician in his own right. Joseph is credited with arrangement and co-composer on tracks such as the original song performed by Cy Snootles in Jabba's Palace from Return of the Jedi. You won't find that in the redone versions. That's from the older version that you can't buy anymore. As well as the Ewok celebration song from the same movie. Remember that one?
No.
Yub nub. Na, 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 na. Yeah, that one. Yeah. For some reason, I felt that was another thing that needed to be arbitrarily changed. Anyway, his music has also featured in movies such as Twilight Zone the movie in 1983, The Goonies in 1985, and he was a performer on 2 hit songs from the Lion King soundtrack, Can You Feel the Love Tonight and Hakuna Matata.
Did he write that?
No, he was one of the performers. He's one of the guys in the background going, "Give me what and what you were."
Really?
You know that bit.
Yeah. He was one of the... Wow.
That's the color of life.
Was he like 20 feet from fame?
Yeah, something like that. Anyway.
And he did Hey True Blue.
He's got like a bunch of different soundtracks on TV and stuff. So yeah, very good. But the composer is probably best known for his work on this track from 1982. Oh, right then.
That one. The Sounds of Silence.
Okay, how do you stop this?
You can't.
How do you stop this?
You can't stop the juggernaut that is Toto.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man. I met Joyce Main down in Africa.
No, and I'm quite serious about this, listeners. If I don't receive a tweet in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to play that song in full. I am not kidding. Don't mess with me on this. I am pissed.
I will sing it.
We'll do it in a cappella. All right, so that's a taste. That's how bad it's going to be.
That's right.
I am not kidding.
That's a good bit.
All right, Twitter or else.
Yes.
As part of the band Toto, Williams' music is featured in many Hollywood movies, such as recent hits Magic Mike and Pitch Perfect. But few people know that as a band, Toto were responsible for the original soundtrack of one of the biggest sci-fi features of the 80s.
Ooh.
Yeah. What were they thinking when they hired the band that gave us Rosanna and Hold the Line to score a sweeping sci-fi saga directed by career oddball David Lynch? But cocaine is a hell of a drug, and so tonight on The Sound of Movies, we give you the big battle theme from the 1984 big-budget megaflop, Dune. Every week, this is the sad bit. Every week I like to remind the listeners that my favourite bit of the Oscars is the In Memoriam segment. Why wait until March when we can enjoy death every week in a bit that we call Dead for Reals?
Behind the clouds, the sun is shining. There's a big blue sky waiting right behind the clouds.
Well, you're dead now. So shut up!
Yes. This week in Dead for Reals, we have Eileen Coughlin. It says Colgan here, but I have a feeling that it's pronounced Coughlin.
How do you spell it?
Colgan.
Colgan.
Oh, it's an Irish name, so it could be Coughlin. Or it could be Coffan, who knows?
Probably Smith. No one knows crazy Irish.
You know how Maeve is actually spelled M-E-D-B? That's how you spell Maeve. So yeah, it's a Gaelic thing. It's a weird language. If you speak Gaelic,
you sing Gaelic.
Yeah, I'm sure that our Irish fans have never heard that joke before. Anyway, the Irish actress was a mainstay of TV for nearly 4 decades in Ireland and the UK, and also featured in major motion pictures such as My Left Foot, The Secret of Rowan Inish, and Angela's Ashes.
Gaelic.
There's not much on Eileen online, I'm afraid. But those who knew her say she was a beautiful character and a joy to work with, so she'll be sadly missed, and I figured she was worth the wave. Eileen Coughlin was 80, and as the Irish say, she's way beyond now. Also in Dead for Reals is James Ellis, another elderly British actor that you've never heard of, but your granddad might remember him from TV hits such as Doctor Who, Ballycus Angel, and Only Fools and Horses, as well as appearances in such movies as horror classic Reanimator, from 1985, and the controversial Priest from 1994. All good stuff.
Quality.
All quality stuff, but maybe Poppy knows this old tune from yesteryear.
No.
Doesn't remind you of anything?
Bit Hogans Heroes-ish.
It is a little bit. So that's a theme from Z-Cars. James is best known for his role as Sergeant Lynch in that massively popular British cop show. That ran from 1962 to 1978.
Isn't that the song they used for Everton?
Everton Football Club, yeah. That was so popular in its day, they've used it as the walk-on march for every match that they do. And they've been using that now for nearly 50 years.
Woohoo!
So anyway, I'll turn it off.
Yeah.
The show was a landmark in television. It represented a major shift in the way policemen were represented in the media. It ran from 62 until 1978, so that was a long one. Also starred Brian Blessed.
Brian Blessed. Gordon's alive!
Fly, my beauties!
I've been goosed. Oh well, who wants to live forever?
Yeah.
Live! I love Brian Blessed.
Everybody loves Brian Blessed.
I've been goosed!
Anyway, James Ellis was 82, and he's now enjoying his right to remain silent. So, we also have, and this is the sad one, finally, Australian actress Wendy Hughes, best known for her roles in classic Aussie films such as Newsfront, Careful He Might Hear You, and My Brilliant Career, as well as TV hits like Return to Eden and State Coroner. Wendy's career in Australia was long and distinguished. With over 70 TV and movie credits to her name, in later life she retired from big screen acting but did some fantastic work on stage, including, some say, a career best turn as Mrs. Robinson in The Graduate, opposite TV's All Saints star Mark Priestley, who sadly also died back in 2008.
Yes.
I knew Mark. I worked with him in Warlord's Battlecry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was one of the voices of the troops on Warlord's Battlecry.
Okay, which one? Do you know?
I think he was like the human troops were like,
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
It was a strategy game, and so they just had these little voice cues where you would click on them. And so Hughes was not squeamish about disrobing for some roles. She stripped for A Run on the Beach with Jack Thompson in 1974's Peterson. That was her first film. And in 2001, by all accounts, she looked sensational in her birthday gear as Mrs. Robinson. But of her film career, she was quoted as saying, "I never want to see myself on screen again. It's horrendous on that huge screen. Every wrinkle. That's the beauty of theatre. You don't have to watch yourself." So, well, she's an actress. She's going to be a little bit vain.
A little bit.
Actor and friend Brian Brown announced Hughes' death at a matinee performance of the classic Travelling North, starring Leo McKern, at the Sydney Theatre Company on Saturday. Ms. Hughes was a dearly loved member of Australia's dramatic community. Her passing marks the end of a long battle with cancer. A loss that has come too soon for all that knew her.
Yeah, she was only in her 60s, 61, I think, thereabouts.
Wendy Hughes was 61. And we miss her already.
Yes.
So...
She was beautiful.
Oh, yeah, sensational stuff. So if you haven't seen any of Wendy Hughes' work, check out some classic Aussie movies. Don't download them.
I love her nose. Beautiful nose.
Yeah. So it was one of her best features. I first saw her in, remember Return to Eden, that thing with Rebecca Gilling?
Yes. Yeah. What a great show that was.
No, that was where she gets eaten by a crocodile at the beginning.
Yes, that's right.
She's got a boyfriend, and Wendy plays her boyfriend's other girlfriend, and they hatch a plot to have her eaten by a crocodile. It doesn't work out though.
It was huge at the time.
I know, it was massive.
Yeah,
everybody was talking about Beck Gilling getting eaten by that crocodile.
Yeah,
and
crocodile like my baby.
Yeah. So, and if you're listening, Beck, how are the alpacas? I met her once. She's got like alpacas up in the mountains.
Kerry packers?
No, alpacas.
Oh, okay.
They're like llamas, except they make the weirdest noise. They just kind of go,
Dalai Lama said that. They go, om.
And, just to wrap up, Gav, I was talking earlier about editing and our fear of people editing us together.
Yes.
I would like to reiterate that when we're doing this show, we really, really need to be careful about what we say on air.
Poo bottom.
In an unrelated note, do you know what I really like?
What do you really like?
Chinese food.
Chinese food?
Yep, especially the work of famous Hong Kong chef Chu Sum Wang.
Chu Sum Wang?
God, I love Wang.
Yep.
Spicy, piquant, small portions but so many courses.
Oh, yes.
I just wish I had some hot, spicy Wang in me right now.
You do. Top it up with some cream of some young guy.
I really should eat before I come to these because I've just got food on the brain.
Yeah.
Oh, guess what I've got in my pocket?
What do you got?
Cream-filled log.
Ooh.
Want some?
Yes, actually.